Today, if you approach Magingo Island by boat, you can no longer see the jagged, barren rock that the original settlers claimed. In fact, you can barely see any rock at all. From a distance, Magingo looks less like an island and more like a giant metallic turtle floating in the middle of Lake Victoria. Every single square inch of the 2,000 square meter surface has been covered by structures made of corrugated iron sheets and scrap wood. The shacks are stacked so tightly together that their rusty roofs overlap, creating a continuous, glittering canopy of metal under the equatorial sun. Current estimates suggest that anywhere from 400 to 500 people live permanently on this half acre of rock, though some estimates put it as high as 1,800. To put that into perspective, if you took the population density of Magingo and applied it to a standard square mile, you would have well over 250,000 people crammed into that space. It makes Manhattan look like a sprawling countryside. Because space is non-existent, the streets of Magingo are nothing more than narrow, dark crevices between the iron shacks. You have to walk single file, ducking under low-hanging roofs and stepping over fishing gear. Yet, inside this metallic maze, a fully functioning, albeit bizarre, microcity has emerged. Tucked into these narrow, claustrophobic alleyways, you'll find 4 separate pubs, a pharmacy, a hair salon, various food stalls, and several brothels. It's a high-energy, high-stress frontier town. But there is a glaring, dangerous downside to living on a rock with zero natural resources. There's no plumbing, no natural fresh water, and no electricity grid, save for a few noisy gas-powered generators. Every single drop of drinking water, every piece of food that isn't fish, every roll of toilet paper, and every drop of fuel has to be imported by boat from the mainland. And because there's no waste management system, the sanitation conditions are, to put it mildly, concerning. The waters immediately surrounding the island are heavily polluted, requiring residents to boat out to the deeper lake just to find clean water. So we return to the ultimate question: why would somewhere around 500 people choose to live in a cramped, unsanitary iron sheet slum in the middle of a massive lake, while the green, lush island of Usingo sits completely empty just a stone's throw away? Furthermore, why do they stay when the geopolitical tension is hovering right over their heads? Let's address that geopolitical tension first. Thankfully, the smallest war in Africa never actually erupted into a full-scale military conflict, but it did result in one of the most awkward geopolitical arrangements on the planet. Today, both Kenya and Uganda claim the island. To keep the peace, they reached a fragile co-management agreement. If you walk through the tiny alleys of Magingo today, you'll find both Kenyan police officers and Ugandan police officers stationed on the rock. They patrol the exact same half acre of land, eyeing each other warily, each enforcing their own country's rules on their respective citizens. It's a bizarre, tense standoff compressed into the size of half a football field.